We're breaking down the latest NBA news and rumors on today's show. We're going to get you guys the details of the John Collins trade to the Utah Jazz. Learned of that trade earlier today. Plus, what's going on with Damian Lillard? Could he be bound for the Miami Heat? And is Draymond Green, who opted out of his last year on his contract, could he stay with the Golden State Warriors? We will let you guys know. We're going to have you covered during NBA free agency. It all begins on Friday, so be sure to subscribe to Chat Sports here on YouTube. We are going to be live throughout free agency. Turn on your notifications so you know when we go live. We're going to have you covered here on this holiday weekend. John Collins officially out of Atlanta after years of being in trade rumors. He is bound for the Utah Jazz. The Jazz acquiring Collins from the Atlanta Hawks for Rudy Gay and a second-round pick. That is it to get a pretty good player in John Collins. Taking a look at the numbers here, the numbers did take a dip this past season with the Atlanta Hawks. 13.1 points per game, 6.5 rebounds per game. He shot over 50% from the floor, 29.2% from three-point range. So perhaps a fresh start will be good for Collins. And the Hawks have been trying to get rid of this guy for a long time, mainly because of the contract. We'll show those contract details here in a second. But he's not cheap. So I think they were trying to kind of unload this contract. I think some of the reaction's been, man, they didn't give up much to get him. That's because of these numbers. He is owed a lot of money over the next couple of seasons. Now the Utah Jazz taking on this contract, so he's going to make over $25 million this next season. The year after that, over $26 million. Then he has a player option in 2025, 2026 for $26.6 million. Here are the trade details in graphic form. John Collins, a new member of the Utah Jazz. Rudy Gay going to Atlanta along with a future second-round pick. Gray, the trade. What are your thoughts on this trade that we learned of earlier today? Sending sending John Collins to the Utah Jazz. Type A, B, C, D, or F down in the comments section. Go down and let me know, what do you think of this trade that sends Collins to Utah? Could Damian Lillard be next when you're talking about a trade? They are meeting later this week, him and the Blazers, to discuss his future with the team. Here is what Chris Haynes reported. Portland Trail Blazers star Damian Lillard and his agent, Aaron Goodwin, are meeting with the team today to discuss the franchise's direction, leak sources tell TNT and Bleacher Report. So we're probably going to hear a little bit later on, maybe even from Chris Haynes, because he's very plugged in with Dame in the Blazers, what's going to happen here going forward if Dame is going to ask out of Portland. I think it is very possible because Portland drafted Scoot Henderson. Dame is coming off a phenomenal season where he put up 32.2 points per game, over 7 assists per game, shot over 46% from the field. Yeah, he's aging a little bit, but the numbers are still phenomenal for Dame Lillard. He is arguably still a top 10 player in this league. You got to think he's going to get a lot of interest if he hits the trade market here. I'd expect Dame to ask out. And if you're the Blazers, does it make sense to keep him at this point? You have a lot of young talent on this team. Shaedon Sharpe, you drafted Chris Murray, you drafted Scoot Henderson, you got Anthony Simons. I think it makes sense for both sides to move on. You're the Blazers, go get a haul of draft picks, man. And if you're Dame, go and play for a contender because the Blazers are nowhere near contending. Go play for a team like the Heat. Go play for a team like the 76ers and have a chance to win your first ring. I think it makes sense for both sides to move on. It has been a phenomenal run, but Dame Lillard should ask out of Portland, and I expect it to happen in this meeting today. If we hear anything, we'll let you know. Now, the draft was last week, but it's not too late to get your draft hats. Chatsports.com/NBA draft hats. Maybe your new favorite player put this on last week. Now you can go get it at chatsports.com/NBA draft hats. All the teams are on there. That link in the comments and the description of today's video. Go and take advantage of this deal. Go and get your draft hats. Not too late. Chatsports.com/NBA draft hats. Again, that link in the comments and the description. Going back to the Blazers here. Here were their draft picks last week. Scoot Henderson, number 3 overall pick. He is your new star, right? He is going to be the guy that emerges as the face of this franchise for years to come, potentially. Chris Murray, loved that pick. His numbers at Iowa were fantastic. And then Ryan Rupert, whose numbers weren't outstanding overseas, but he's got a lot of talent, a lot of potential in this league. Dame wanted the Blazers to trade the picks for veteran players. Maybe Pascal Siakam, maybe somebody like that. But I don't think Dame wanted the Blazers to hold on to their picks. They did, which is why I expect him to ask out in this meeting today. Where is Dame going to play next season? Type B for the Blazers or type O for other down in the comments section. Where is Dame Lillard going to play this next season? I'm typing O for other, and then I might as well just type H for the Miami Heat as well. I do believe when you say Miami, you're talking Dame Lillard. I think it's absolutely going to happen. How about Draymond Green? Is he going to stay with the Golden State Warriors? Surprisingly, at least in my opinion, all signs are pointing toward him staying in the Bay. Mark Stein said this. Draymond Green's forthcoming free agency appeared to get unexpectedly interesting on draft night when the Sacramento Kings put themselves in position to create more than $30 million in salary cap space. Should the Warriors fear a legitimate Green pursuit from a team that resides less than 90 miles from San Francisco and which is coached by a close Draymond Green confidant in Mike Brown and whose owner, Vivek, has long been known to be interested in all things Golden State since his time as a Warriors minority owner. I continue to hear nothing but strong confidence emanating from the Bay Area that an agreement on a multi-year deal for Green to stay right where he's always been is forthcoming. A 3-year deal, league sources say, is a popular current projection for the 33-year-old. Draymond Green's been such a big part of this Warriors run. He's been such a big part of this organization. He's a Warrior through and through, and I think he wants to remain a Warrior for life. Are they willing to pay him? That is the question, and according to Mark Stein, they are. Taking a look at the numbers here. Now, this doesn't include defensive numbers. I mean, this guy is one of the best defensive players in the league. 8.5 points per game, 7.2 rebounds per game, 6.8 assists per game. Shot over 52% from the floor last season in Golden State. This guy can really do it all on both ends. Now, Brian Windhorst said this, that if the Warriors aren't able to retain Draymond, Detroit and Sacramento could be the two teams in play. Now, I'm not as plugged in as Windy, but just based on what I think, I do believe the Dallas Mavericks might be another team to watch there for Draymond. The Mavs really need some defense. Is Draymond Green a Hall of Famer? Type Y for yes or type in for no down in the comments section. Go down in the comments. Let me know. I'm going to say no. He's a good player, but Hall of Famer. But then again, everyone gets into the Basketball Hall of Fame, so very possible. Type Y for yes, in for no, down in the comments. Is Draymond Green a Hall of Famer?